the men and women of the Texas Department of Public Safety and to the Texas National Guard, we're here today to say thank you. And by the way, y'all can be seated. We're going to only be talking for 1 or 2 hours. And so plenty of time, no, quite literally, we're going to talk very shortly because we know for one, you're hungry. You want to relax and have some fun around here. But before we start feeding you, we want to make sure that you knew the level of gratitude that we have for your service, that we have for what you have been doing, some of you for up to almost 4 years now. Listen, the state of Texas would not be what it is, and America would not be what it is without the men and women of the Texas National Guard and the Texas Department of Public Safety. We know that, and Americans know that, and we're here today to show American gratitude for you and your service to the United States of America and the great state of Texas. What you have been through this deployment is truly unprecedented. Things like what have happened over the past few years have never before happened in the history of the United States of America. It required an unprecedented response to an unprecedented threat. When I'm using the word threat, I don't do it offhandedly. Y'all surely know that there are Texans, little girls, a 12-year-old girl, a 14-year-old girl, who have been assaulted and murdered by people who came across the border illegally just here in the state of Texas alone. That doesn't count the countless others who were harmed in some way, whose homes have been invaded, whose lives have been destroyed. And that's just in Texas. When you look at those across the country, this is an unprecedented attack on our country from across our very own border. Now, I know that some of you perhaps have served in foreign lands across the entire world, working surely to ensure American safety both now as well into our future. This mission that you're on right now is on your homeland, a mission on your homeland to preserve the safety and sovereignty and security of your very own state, of your very own country, of a threat that's not on some foreign land, but a threat on your very own border. And what I know from the very top of the levels of government to the streets of the people in the Rio Grande Valley, up to the Corpus area, to Houston, to Dallas, and across the state, and that is how much our fellow Texans appreciate you, your service, and what you've done to stand up an unprecedented response to deter, to deny illegal entry into our country, to help deal with the consequences of it, to make your state more secure. So as your governor,
I won't be short because I know we're running late. President Trump, who happens to be the greatest president of my lifetime, is coming back. Unlike this administration, he'll have your 6. This administration didn't, and we all know it's imperative. With the secretary coming in, Kristi Noem, I met with her numerous times. She gets it. She understands it. and she has some great ideas of her own, so I can't wait for her to get confirmed. She got one hell of a team, and Trump and Kristi Noem is going to give you help, not sue you for doing your job. She's going to give you help, and hopefully we get enough help to you where some of you men and women go home with your families. But you can guarantee it, President Trump will secure this border. He's did it before, and he's going to do it again. But this time we finish the job. We're going to run an interior enforcement operation. Of course, the media hates that. How dare you? What a racist thing to do. I want to explain that. You can't have millions of people illegally crossing the border, which is a crime, make a claim to asylum, demand the right to claim asylum, demand the right to see a judge, demand due process, and we'll give them that shot. But at the end of that process, when the judge says you must go home, they must go home, because if you don't, due process means nothing. And if the final judges of the decisions of the court aren't carried out, then what the hell are we doing? Shut down the immigration court. Those orders don't mean anything anymore. Take the border patrol. Take all you guys off the border, because there's no longer consequences. So at the heels of the biggest illegal immigration crisis we've ever seen in this nation, there has to be a massive deportation operation, because 9 out of 10 of these people, based on 10 years of data, they'll lose their case, get order removal. If we don't remove them, what the hell are we doing? The whole world's going to know, enter the country illegally, what's a crime, make a false claim to asylum, get order removed, but you still have to go home. We'll never fix that problem. And the most vulnerable people in the world will make the journey to America to take advantage of that broken system, and more aliens will die. More aliens have died under this administration than any time in history. More Americans have died from fentanyl than any time in history. 600% increase in sex trafficking, a record number of known suspected terrorists, a record number of people on terrorist watch lists, 2 million known gotaways, people who paid more to get away. They didn't want to be fingerprinted, they didn't want to be vetted. Who the hell are they? This is the biggest national security threat this nation faces. Even the FBI director agrees with me. President Trump is going to shut down the border. We're going to have a massive deportation operation, and we're going to try to find over 300,000 children that were released by this administration. I guarantee you, some are in forced labor, some are in the sex trade. We're going to save those children and get them back to their families. That's a commitment from me, President Trump, and Kristi Noem, and they all wish you a happy Thanksgiving and want to give me their thanks. Look, everybody in this room, you're American patriot by the very fact you're standing in this room and doing God's work. Look, you're not just protecting Texas. You're protecting the entire country, because most people across that border aren't staying in Texas. To the troopers, every ounce of fentanyl you guys see, you're saving lives. To every person you arrest for trespass, that's one less gotaway. At least we're fingerprinting them, and we know who this person is. So thank you, not only for serving Texas, but for serving in the United States. I look forward to coming back and doing this job. It's the second time I came back from retirement, and I'll come back a third time, but you know what? I don't think I have to. I think we're going to finish the job this time and have the most secure border ever in this nation. So before I pass it, I want to pass it on to Mr. McGraw. I just want a show of love. Mr. McGraw is leaving you soon. He spent decades doing this service. He has created the most premier law enforcement agency in this nation, the Texas DPS. So get up and show your love for Mr. McGraw for his service to the nation.
Thank you. Please be seated, at least while I'm director. Okay. Hey, well, first of all, last time, Tom, you and I worked together, it was 2020. The border had never been more secure at that point in time. We weren't doing deployments. Troopers stayed home. They worked their sheriffs. They worked in the counties in that regard. Then all of a sudden, March 2021, and I'll never forget the conversation with the governor. He made it very clear the Mexican cartels will not own, control, and operate freely on 1 square inch of Texas, period. Nor will we allow the transnational gangs to support them on both sides of the border and to create havoc in our cities. He made it very clear. And there's no governor that's done more, that has actually demonstrated doing more around the clock than Governor Greg Abbott in terms of public safety and homeland security. And by the way, a secured international border with Mexico is public safety and homeland security, plain and simple. Governor, you're a great leader. It's been an honor to serve you. Bless you. Bless the United States. Certainly bless Texas, and good luck, sir.
Paul, you going next?
Good afternoon. My name is Paul Perez. I am the president of the National Border Patrol Council, the organization that represents Border Patrol agents nationwide, specifically here in RGV. This is where I'm based. So to the troopers, to the guardsmen and women, I want to thank you guys very much for doing the job that this administration has refused to allow us to do for the last 4 years. Under President Trump, like you guys know, we had the most secure border, and we're going to get there again with the good people like Tom Homan in charge. Your governor stepped up. That's the type of leadership that we hoped every governor would have had. Unfortunately, they didn't. A lot of them supported the efforts. As a Texas taxpayer, I am proud to have supported Operation Lone Star because that was a job that the federal government should have been doing, but they didn't allow us to do our job. So from the bottom of our hearts, we want to thank you for all the lives that you guys have saved out there doing the job that you guys have been doing that we know you didn't sign up to do, but you did nonetheless. A lot better than this administration allowed us to do it. And that you guys stepped up big, big time. So I want to thank Governor Abbott for allowing you guys to do this, because without his leadership, this country would have been a lot less secure. You all saved lives out there by doing what you did, interdicting, intercepting, seizing, arresting. It was really, really good work that you guys did, and we appreciate it. With President Trump in office now, we're going to have the most secure border everywhere, including up on the northern border, where we're also being invaded. Never in my 27-year career did I ever see the northern border being as open as it was, but that's because of the amount of crossings, fentanyl, everything else that was coming across this border, because they were taking advantage of this Biden administration's policies and the way they handled business. So we're looking forward to President Trump stepping up, coming in, and taking care of the border once and for all. But from the bottom of our heart, we want to thank you for being away from your families this Thanksgiving, being here to protect this country, the great state of Texas, and thank Governor Abbott for his leadership. Thank you very much.
Thank you, man. Good job.
I'll be brief because I know you want to eat, but I just want to thank you and your families for all you've done. Wish you all a happy Thanksgiving. It is an honor to be here to serve all of you Thanksgiving dinner for everything you've done for us. I can't express enough my gratitude to all of you for securing the border and protecting the sovereignty of Texas. Tom Homan's here today. Imagine this Thanksgiving a year from now. Maybe there's Border Patrol at this table. Maybe there's OFO. Maybe there's HSI. The team is strong. It's about to get stronger. So keep doing what you're doing. You're performing magnificently. Thank you for all you do.
I'm going to be even more brief. So being a veteran myself, nothing is more dear to my heart than coming here and serving you guys today, right? Serving Texans who are serving Texas, what more could I ask for? Look, Governor Abbott's been very clear that Texas is a law and order state. We're pretty excited that the president picked Tom Homan, who's a career law and order man. We're already making plans. We're already planning how we're going to work together, right? We've been doing the job that the federal government refused to do. We're not going to stop doing that job. We're going to continue to defend Texas and protect Texas. We're just going to have a lot of help. So now maybe instead of getting sued for everything we do, we're going to get a thank you and a little help from the federal government. We're pretty excited about that. Thank you.
And now the three most important words you wanted to hear. Dinner is served.